Alright. Hello? Alright, there you go. This time for real. Okay, my microphone was muted for some reason. No clue why. Look at all those errors. Look at all those beautiful Unity errors that we're gonna have to fix. God. Yeah, this is where I left last time, didn't I? Well, the good thing about it is that I don't have to wonder what to do next. It's right here, right? So let's just work on it. The reason for these errors is because the last thing I changed last time I worked on this was the script that handles live. Specifically, I made it so that it no longer relies on having individual tags for the dealing 1 damage and dealing more damage, but rather it has a table of pairs of tags. So rather than storing 3 tags every time, you can store any number of them. But the problem is that there's other scripts that check against this stuff that are going to need to be fixed. So, the first one is Fran Drain. Drain is a thing that Francisco, the big angel, does when... Why does my mouth not open? What's going on with the facial tracking? Give me 1 second. I think I can fix this. Just really quickly. I'm gonna give it a real quick shot, and if I can't, then I just can't. Okay, I think this is better. Okay. Okay, did I not? Yeah, I didn't. God damn it. Okay, there we go. God damn it, I forgot to change the category again, so this is gonna show up as a fucking Dynasty Warriors 2 stream again. Fucking... Okay, whatever. It's fixed now. Sorry if you were hoping for that. We're not gonna be doing that today. Okay, so what we need to do now is fix all these things. The issue with these is that this is happening because this script is expecting to find certain variables in the live script, and it is not finding them. It is not finding them because they've been replaced by this array. So we have to do that. We have to fix that. Hey, next. So let's see. We have... Yeah, so friend drain. This script is in charge of draining the life of the boss when it is in invincible mode. Basically, when it is in a mode where it won't take damage. There are certain phases of its attack pattern where you don't have to attack it, you just have to survive for a certain amount of time. And the way we do that is that since the triggers for the next phase are always given by an amount of life that you reach, then he's going to drain his own life by a certain amount so long as it's in that state. Now, this is using the live script. So where is this script used actually? It should have it. Oh, we don't know because it's not adding them because of compiling errors. Ooh, that means that I'm not going to be able to see this. Yeah, okay, that's not amazing. The problem is that I don't know where it is, so... Let's just comment the lines that are causing us trouble, and then we'll fix them. So we have 25, which is this. So yeah, let's just do that. There's line 33. And let's also write something so that I remember. That's noticeable enough. There's 33, which is this one. There's 39, which is this one. Oh, but this is an if statement, so I'm gonna have to comment this as well. And there's probably gonna be 40 as well. Yep. So it's this. Right. So we have that. And then on the other script, which is red light, green light, it also has a similar issue. So then line 35 is giving us trouble. Why is my fan so loud today? I'm not... Probably just reverberating on the table in a weird way. Yeah, it's definitely reverberating on the table because as soon as I lift the microphone off of it, you can't hear it anymore, or I can't hear it. You probably can't hear it anyways because I have the noise filters. I probably shouldn't even worry about it, but Point is, we have to go into this script and change those things. So those are line 35 and 36. So this one and this one. And then we also have lines 42 and 43, which are these two. So this and this. And then we have lines 50 and 51, which are this one, this one. Why is the tabulation so inconsistent? That bothers me. I'm gonna fix that later. Okay, so that should be all the errors. So if I do that, then it should compile. It won't do what I wanted those scripts to do. They won't do what I want them to do at all, but it's going to compile, and that's going to let me see a couple of things. Yeah, okay. So now I should be able to see who owns front drain, who has that script. That script is in... Oh, it's in the... Oh. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that script is in those prefabs, right? Which means that I can't just find the live script the way that I want it. Yeah, I can't just assign it from the inspector because these objects are not created until the corresponding phase begins, right? So what I'm going to need to do is well, this is all a very weird way for stuff to work anyway, right? Just having all of those game objects and each one represents a phase when I could just have all of that be handled by the live handler. Like, you know, it already knows every phase and when it begins, so rather than having an object, this could already hold the shooter and just spawn it there and there, then and there. The issue is that this start shooting script might do more stuff than I think it's doing. Yeah, it's doing more stuff. Okay, so let's not think about it until later. Actually, that works fine. It's a bit messy on the hierarchy, but it's actually a fun way for it to work because then I'm separating functions. So it's actually more easy to think about. I think. I'll have to give it some thought later. It's definitely not what I would have done at the start, is what I'm saying. Okay. So, the issue is that these objects that are spawned are going to need to be aware of the live script of the enemy. And what I don't want to do is use GameObject.pointFind. But because they are created game objects, I can't assign them from the inspector. I have to do it from the script. So that means that these start shooting scripts are going to need to be aware of this script and then pass it on properly if they need it. So, but how do I do that without messing things around too much, right? So it's basically I'm gonna have to go to each of these and ask whether they have a front drain script. But then that already in and of itself is a bother. So the main issue is this chain of find and get component, right? Like, I don't like that. I don't like using game object point find anyway. Um, so what I could do is just make, well, I can't make a life a singleton because bullets have life and the player has life and Francisco has life. So it can't be a singleton. But I could make a singleton that is just for that awareness. So I could do enable on range a singleton. Francisco is the only thing that is going to have a thing that gets enabled at every range in life, right? And it has a reference to the live script, so that's actually kind of perfect. But the issue, no, hold on. But the issue is that I may have other things that I want to be available at a range. Like, this is a generic enough script that I think it may be a good idea to not have it be a singleton. So should I just have a Francisco exclusive script that is only for the purpose of being able to locate Francisco easily? Well, I mean, Francisco is a pretty unique entity in the thing anyway, so like, it might not be a bad idea to have a Francisco exclusive thing. Or couldn't find, I do find game object with tag? Questions. Hold on, if this is the case, if this is Fred Drain, so I could have the thing that creates this hold a reference to Francisco's life right here. And oh, I could I could have a script that is global, that is somewhere else, that is not a Francisco, that is purely for having awareness of certain things. And then that script holds a reference to Francisco's life script, and that's how these guys get it. Right? It feels convoluted. I'm not sure I like that. Okay, how would I do this if I were just starting this project, right? Like, if I just started this from the beginning, how would I do this? I would make the life a general script across all three, so this wouldn't be a singleton. I would not have the life handler work like this, but rather I would have all of these shooters, I would have them as their own game objects. Or rather, I would have them as their own data, but you know, them being their own game objects works anyways, because that's just, it's what they do anyway. They do this. That's how they work. This is just scripts with data, and that's just kind of what they do. So, wait a minute, what? Right, so I have shots and shooters. And this animation for some reason. Huh. Ooh, this is tricky. Okay, so I I know that the idea earlier about the singleton would work. Like, I know that. But I don't like it. You know what? Let's just have a singleton, but it's not going to be one general one. It's going to be one for Francisco. And all it's going to do is hold a bunch of references. And it's not going to be a script that really does anything. So let's do that. Do I have a folder for scripts? Yes, I do. Okay, we're going to create a new script. It's going to be Francisco Awareness. Actually, let's just call it Francisco. It's going to be the Francisco script. And all it does is be aware of where Francisco is in the form of a singleton that can be accessed from anywhere, right? So then I have, what's another singleton that I have here? I must have one. For the player, probably. Yeah, it's this one for sure. No, it's not. Weird. Live trigger, live player movement. That's definitely a singleton. Yep, there it is. So I need to take that, copy that, paste it here. Like this. But then change the names of the things that are relevant. And now there can only be one Francisco script ever, right? And that Francisco script is just findable through this. Right. And just gonna hold a bunch of reference. So this is gonna have a reference to a live script. That is going to be public. And that's all it's gonna do. It's gonna hold that reference. So with that reference held, right here, so it's holding it, right? So with the reference held, since this is a singleton, that means that I can take any rendering script, and when it begins, instead of telling it, hey, use GameObjectFind to find Francisco, which is an expensive operation, and then use Francisco getComponent to get the live component within Francisco, which is another expensive operation, I can just tell it, hey, find the singleton, right? So find the singleton instance of Francisco. And get its live script, get the reference that it's holding to the live script, and assign that as our live script that we're gonna just deal with, right? And then that would do things, that would make things work just immediately. Hey Nex, are you there? I have a favor to ask if you're on Twitch. Let's also fix all these tabulations because I really don't like this formatting. I was young, I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, let's just put them all at the beginning. Can you tell me how many qualities you can see on Twitch? You know, like if it's giving you 420p and 360p, can you just list them all for me? Please and thank you. Oh no, don't do single space. Please don't do single space. Please don't do single space as a default. I don't like that. I hate that. Please don't do that. No, how do I change you out of this? I want you to do it like this, please. How many spaces are those? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So can I just type it with spaces for the first one and you get the idea? You do this. No, you don't. Okay. How do I do this? There's gotta be a setting for this. 360 P60, 480 P60, 780 P60. Those are the quality options. Oh, they did work. Nice. Okay, so what's happening is that OBS has this feature now with Twitch integration that it lets Twitch pick video quality automatically for you in a way that allows you to send various various qualities to Twitch. I think, you know what? I'm not gonna try to explain it because I have no idea how it fucking works. You just press a button, some magic happens, and now you have multiple video qualities to send. That depends on the hardware that your computer is currently using, which does mean that Twitch gets that data, but like, who cares? So basically it makes it easier to have multiple encodings into your stream without you having to worry about bitrate and shit quite as much. And also without the encoding having to be on Twitch's side necessarily either, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure they do a bit of it too, but I have no idea how it works. You just press the button and it happens, okay? I was just wondering if it worked or if it did anything. Let's see. How do I... let's actually ask Google. Don't open it on my main monitor, please. VS Code, how do I change it so the tab key does 4 spaces instead of 2? Okay, have the space conversion. Yep, that's what I want. By default, we'll try to get your indentation options depending on the file you open. You can turn off indentation guessing via editor detect indentation false. You can customize this easily via these 3 settings in Windows. So it is File, Preferences, Settings, and then in here it does tab size modified elsewhere. The number of spaces a tab is equal to based on the file content. Okay, so I want that to be off. There. So now it should do the thing I want. Yeah, okay, that works. That's great. So all of this is inside of that, so it should be like this. Then inside of start we have this 3. Oh, that looks so much nicer already. Then on enable I want it to be like this. Like this. This is like this. This is an F, so this goes like this. And this is also an F, so this goes like this. Oh yeah, that's what I'm used to. Okay. So then, we have made it so that the start can find the live script just like this, front drain. And now we need to make it so that these lines that I commented know how to work with the live script. Remember, the draining works by taking the live script, and when the drain is enabled, Francisco is invincible, so its damage tag should be empty now. The issue with that is that its damage tag is no longer stored in a variable named damage tag, but rather in an array of various damage tags. So we are going to have to deal with that. Then the other issue is that when this is disabled, it's trying to return it to the bullet, but that is not happening. And then it's doing this when the update. For each frame, it is asking if the damage tag is empty. If it's not empty, then it should be empty. What? Oh, it is protecting. Yeah, okay, I get it. It is protecting against another script doing this. Okay, there's a better way to do this. The issue that I was trying to fix with this line is that sometimes another script can be enabled after this one that messes with the functions of this one by changing the damage tag to something that it shouldn't be. This one must take priority over that one, so if it finds that that override happened, it's going to override it back. So then you have two scripts kind of fighting. It only lasts for one frame because it only happens on enable on both of them, but you have two scripts that are fighting over who should take control of this variable. So since we're already changing how that variable works, it is probably better to make it so that that can't happen now. So the way that we're going to do that is by having Francisco, no, not Francisco, by having, I have too many things open. By having a live script have several variants for each of the modes. So the way that this is working currently, it has this list of tags. Now it should have more tags depending on different states. So each state should have an array of its own tag lists. And that way, just by changing that state, this thing is going to know which tag list to use. Which means I should make another library? There's no way that actually works, does it? Well, let's try it anyway. Yeah, because what I want is to associate a single string to an array of tag lists, right? So let's have another one of these, another struct that is called state. Well, let's call it damageability state. That's too complicated. Let's just call it state, right? Each one has a string that is the name of the state, and it also has an array of tag healths. It goes like this. Oh, that's what I should have done from the beginning. Yeah, so that my face is now covering half the code. Okay, so it has an array of tag healths called tag list. Right, so it has an array of these things, right? So then we have state and tag list, and we have state and tag list, tag health called tag list. So we have that, right? And then rather than having an array of tag lists, we're going to have an array of states. So we're going to have multiple states. Yeah, multiple damage states that are going to each correspond to one list of tag healths. There's going to be pairs of tags that can affect the object and the amount of health that they take away or heal the object to. So then, does that even work? Can I make that? I have no clue if this is gonna work. Method must have a return type. Yeah, that's fine. Because this is not a tag health, this is a state. Game tag list does not exist in the current context. Where is that? Live 42? 42, 42, 42, 42. Yes, because it's not called tag list anymore, it's called damage. Oh, yeah, that means that I'm gonna have to change that. Okay, but that would seem to indicate that it worked. Yeah, okay. So then we are going to need to know what the current state is at every point. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna need to know what the current state is at every point. So let's just have a variable that is the current active state. Int current active state, it's gonna be 0. Right? Like that. Okay, a thought occurs. Having it be a number might be a bit confusing when I'm already using strings to index them. So it might be better to use an enum here. So I'm gonna need to go out and so many detours to implement this thing. I'm gonna need a list of enums so that I can start using them. God damn it, that wasn't the script. That wasn't the script I wanted. It's this. Okay, and then let's copy the format that I used in the previous project, which is... where is that? Streams. Where's the folder? It is Unity. No, it's not Unity, it's the other one. Unity stuff, there you go. Okay, so it is this, and it is in scripts, and I want one from the... what is it? Whatever, I'm sure that I have it somewhere anyway. There you go. Yeah. I just need a refresher on how do I even write these things. So yeah, I guess. I don't need any of this. I'm not even sure that I need the class, but I'm gonna keep it just to not break anything. So yeah, and then these are going to be Francisco states, or let's just call it Fran states. These are the states that Francisco can be in. They are going to be normal and invincible for now. I may want another one later. And then instead of this being a integer, this can be a Fran state. So actually, yeah, this should be singular because each one of them is a Fran state. So then it's a, rather than being an int, it's a Fran state type variable called current active state, which is going to be equal to Fran state point normal. That's the normal state of Francisco. It's normal. Appropriately, it's just called normal. Then each of these are going to be defined not by a string, but rather by a Fran state, which is internally just an integer, but this makes them easier to work with, right? So then we have that, right? That's... yeah, these are the names of each state. And so now I can just use the same type for both of them and it be fine. And then I need to make it so that these, rather than trying to access an array that doesn't exist, they start accessing the correct one, deciding based on the current active state. So for each collision, what you were doing is going through the list of the tag lists, through the list of tags to find the one that matches. I don't want you to do that anymore, because the list of tags that I want you to use is going to depend on what the current state of the current Fran state there is. So first of all, we're going to go into the damage states. And inside of that, I want the current active state. This is a friend state, but a friend state is an integer, so this should be valid. And then of that state, hold on, actually, I'm thinking. Doesn't that actually mean that I don't need this struct then? If the thing that defines it is an integer, or something that can be converted to an integer pretty much seamlessly, then this could just be a two-dimensional array, right? Because then I could access that through the friend state. The friend state would be would it be a two-dimensional array? No, a two-dimensional array just has double the things, and then I can't define each one. No, so actually I do need this, yeah. So then I'm gonna have to but I'm gonna have to do it like a two-dimensional array. Oh, this is such a pain in the ass. Why can't I just serialize dictionaries? That would make this so much easier. Okay, this is not difficult. We can just do for an integer named, we're already gonna use I, so let's call this one J. That starts at 0. And this stops when the damage states length. So that makes it so that it just goes 1 for each element. Increase I by 1. You're going to check if the current active state equals the damage state that we're currently checking. The state. So if it matches, if the name matches, right? So if it's the invincible state, then you're going to check that it is the same one. And if it is, only then I want you to start doing this stuff. So it is then that you do all this. Oh, God. Okay, so what is it? It's like this. Oh God, the format is super weird. Okay, it's like that. And then if you find one, then add the live, do everything, and then since you've already found one at this point, we don't need to do this any longer, so just return. Like we found our thing, we don't need to check every other. Is that going to just work? Or is there some other place where is line 42, 43, and 44? Yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah, except this shouldn't be tag list because this is the damage states J point, what did I call it? Tag list. So it's the tag list inside of that. So it's point tag list, point length, yeah, and then you just go through all of that. So basically anywhere where it says tag list, it should be the tag list, but the tag list that is inside of this array and this array. And I think that works. God, that's so convoluted. It'll be so much easier to just use a dictionary, but Unity doesn't like those. Okay, the name I does not exist in the current code. What do you mean the name I doesn't exist? I made it. It's right here. Oh, yeah, that. Action again. But as a silver lining, that does make it so that the category on the next bit of the stream that Twitch is now going to split up is correct. So that's nice, at least. Right, so what's the issue that I'm going through now? Live state does not contain a definition for state in line 44. Right, because it should be lowercase state. And cannot implicitly convert type life tag health to tag health array, which is in line 22. That's probably just that I forgot this. If I had to guess. Kinda blindly, but... Okay, so that works, but let's see now if that actually works the way that I expected to. It's on this live handler. It has all those face... No, it's not. It's on the life script for him. This one has 3 damage. Oh no, I messed up. Because, well, I messed up in the names. It actually doesn't really make much of a difference. Because these names are not going to be exclusive to Fran. They're just going to be states, normal health states. So let's just change that so that it doesn't become confusing later. Rather than Fran states, these are health states, and I think that's the only place where it comes up, actually. Fran state, yeah, it's in line 40, 40 here, and then line 18 in life. So, yeah, here. Okay, and line 40 again. Health state point normal. Okay, so I messed up because now I don't remember what the values were. I just lost them. Okay, we do know that there are 2 oh my god, I can't believe that works. Yeah, it does, it just lets me do it. Yeah, okay. So Unity is capable of this, but it's not capable of serializing a dictionary. Really makes you think. Okay, so we have 2 states, one for normal, one for invincible. Invincible obviously is not going to take damage from the bullets. But is it still going to be consumed by them if I just leave it empty? I'm not sure, but we're gonna have time to test it. But normal state, it is going to take from the player bullets, which are tagged bullets. Yeah, from bullet player, which are tagged just bullet. It is going to receive 1 damage from the heal bullets. If it touches them, right? This changed tag somewhere because these are not just because there are others that use that tag. So move forward, life trigger, down handler. Yeah, it's gonna be that. So okay, the down handler, when you get triggered, what do? You probably, yeah, you change the tag to healing. You change your tag to healing. Biggs BTWW TikTok says, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, man?" That's a weird name. Healing. Okay. I'm just kind of working on the first Unity game that I did. I'm fixing all the shit that I did because I didn't know better. Healing. We have this healing tag. So yeah, the tag of this is going to be changed to healing. So that's the actual tag that it's going to collide with. So when it tags with the healing bullet, healing. Oh my god, I can't say. When it collides with the healing bullet, it's going to heal by 30, right? When it collides with a minor heal, right? Which is somewhere. What the fuck is it? I think it's the red light, green light script. Yeah, this one. The bullets of the player can heal it sometimes. But actually that doesn't matter because that's only true on that state. So that doesn't matter right now. So we have invincible, which just makes it so that it doesn't receive any damage. And then we're going to have a 3rd state that is going to be reverse, right? Yeah, so we have to create that on the list of enums. So reverse, lowercase to match the others. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we're gonna leave that third state that is going to be the reverse state, and this makes it so that when you receive a bullet from the player, rather than taking 1 damage, you actually heal 1 damage. And healing bullets should still heal it for 30, because those are like that's the gimmick of those bullets, and I want to make it difficult, right? I'm not sure if there's any phase where those two happen at the same time, but let's just cover our bases here. What I'm not sure is if the invincible tag is going to work, because I get the impression that what it's going to do is it's going to not consume the bullet because it doesn't know its tag, so it's not going to recognize it as a bullet. If that's the case, then it's really simple. I just need to add the bullet with the damage of 0, but I don't want to do that right now because that's going to be one more element to handle every time this script is run. That just makes it less efficient by a very tiny amount, right? But you know, so let's see if this works at all. It is receiving damage normally. It's good. The bullets are not receiving damage, but that's fine. That's because their life script has not been fixed to work with them. So the way that this should work is that each bullet has a life script that works the same way. So because these are starting by default, because every object starts by default on the normal mode, then just doing that is going to make the behavior happen. So then I can just be like, okay, when you receive a player bullet, you're going to subtract 1 to your health, and then have the heal bullet do something similar. So when you receive a player bullet, subtract 1 to your health, and then have the immune bullet doesn't need it. It doesn't have a life script. That's what makes it immune. When the player bullet receives an enemy bullet, I think that's what it's called. Enemy bullet, yeah. When the player bullet receives an enemy bullet, it has its life reduced by 1. And that makes it so that the bullets collide and then get cleaned, right? Yep, they're just cleaning the bullets. Okay, let's pause this for a little bit. Let's just disable you so that you don't mess with my testing. Let's disable you and enable the first one that has the invincibility, because that's single warning. Yeah, no, it's not the warnings, it's the single warning. No, it should be this one. Yeah. Okay, let's. So now he should be invincible. No, he's not. Right. Silly. Because I have made the mechanism for it to change, but I haven't given it ever a signal to change. So I have to go back into this script. This should be the friend drain. Drain behavior and invincibility behavior are the same. The idea is your life starts getting reduced as you're invincible, or rather the enemy's life starts getting reduced when it is invincible, so that the phase progresses, since you can't damage it by you surviving long enough. That's why they're the same behavior. So I've already made it so that this script is aware of the life script upon start. Then this is a weird way to do a timer. Also, I don't need the keyword. Rather than holding when the next tick of damage it's going to be, what you should do is yeah, let's just do a timer the way I know how to do it. Load timer. And also let's organize these variables. Just header variables, and the timer is a variable. Have a header for parameters, header parameters, which the tick down time and the initial delay are both parameters, and references, header references. The game object that is Francisco. Actually, do we use this anymore? We do a bunch, actually. The game object that is Francisco is a reference, and the live script is also a reference. And I don't need that keyword. The animator is also a reference. We're probably going to get rid of it soon, but let's put it here in the meantime. Yeah, so we're gonna get rid of this variable that we're not gonna need. So we have the timer, and so yeah, just the next tick is going to be the initial delay plus the tick down time. Tick down time? That is another name for it. Usually I'll just call it time. Like the time between ticks. Tick time, let's call it tick time. The time that it takes one tick. Tick time. Time in between ticks. And then initial delay is just extra time for the first tick to count down, right? So it's like that. So yeah, the next tick you're not gonna have rather than timer is started at time tick down time initial delay, right? Timer is started at that, and then we can just find where the next tick happens and update. If timer equals timer subtract from it time point delta time. If timer is smaller or equal to 0, then timer add the time between ticks to reset the timer, and then do the other stuff. Just brain life, no hurt. All this shit, and then that means that I don't need this, and the timers are a bit prettier to look at, or at least more like what I'm used to, so that makes the code less confusing. Okay, that's not what we came here to do. What were we gonna do with this script? I forgot already. Right, we have to make it so that rather than trying to change the tags, it is instead changing the active mode of the live script. It already holds a reference to the live script, so just gotta make it happen. So on enable, you're finding the game object that is Francisco, and you're finding its live script. We don't need to do those anymore. Then it is setting the bool of the... Okay, we're gonna deal with the animator stuff later. Just, I know that it's not necessary, but one thing at a time. So now what we want to do is change, we change the mode of the live script that you have stored here to the mode that I want. So I have to go into the live script. Yeah, go into the live script. Live script somewhere. Yeah, go into the live script. No, the live script is not defined until start, so that's when it should happen. So live script equals, yeah, going to the live script. Within the live script, go within the live script, go into its current active state, change that state to health state invincible. Then set up the timer, then tell the animator to do its thing. Rather than checking Francisco, we already know who Francisco is. So let's just do the animator the same way as the other. So animator equals Francisco point instance point animator. Right? Yeah, like that. That's better. Animator was Francisco point instance point animator, and then we're gonna have that. That means that I have to go into the Francisco script. Oh, it's such a convoluted mess of code. That means that I have to go into the Francisco script and tell it to also hold another reference for me to the animator script. Animator component, anim component. Anim comp, like that. Actually, just to keep the names consistent, let's do it like this. Right. Okay, so that puts the live script state in health state. Is there any point where they get set back? This was unenabled, but I don't want it to be unenabled. I actually want it to be... Why am I doing everything twice here? They shouldn't be unenable and on start. They should be on only one of them. And then on disable, you're doing the find thing again. You don't need to do that. Actually, I think I may be able to just completely get rid of this. You don't need to find the animator component. You already know who it is. Or the live component. You don't need to find either of them. You already know them. You're setting the bool of the shield to false. That's fine. I want you to do damage tag equals bullet. Yeah, okay. So what it's doing here is putting the damage tag back to what it was. But I have a way to do that already, which is just going into here and telling it, hey, put the current active state back to normal. Like that. This update is not doing anything, right? This is changing that in order to not step over the state that another thing was trying to do. But do I want that to happen on disable? Yeah, okay, this script has become just a lot shorter. It's going to become even shorter when I stop using this animation component here. Current active state is inaccessible, right, so it should be public. Also save that. Current active state, it should be public. And let's move it up so that all the publics are together. Takedown time does not exist. That is aim 22. Aim 22, because it's not called takedown time, it's just called take time now. Right. So, first of all, did that break any of the other stuff? Doesn't seem to have, which is good. Okay, so let's check the thing I want to check now. Let's just disable this so it doesn't bother me anymore. Disable this and start the single warning phase immediately on pause. Oh, the code errored. But he is invincible. He just didn't do the invincible animation. So that's good. Okay. Where's the issue? The very old animation. Oh, yeah, I know what it is. It's that this thing should be made aware of the animator. There you go. That fixes it. Or that should fix it. Let's actually try it properly. Since I already know that that works, let's not bother with it. So here, then you are enabled. The one who's going to be enabled is you. Yeah, the animation happens, and now he's not receiving any damage. I mean, he's not receiving damage from the bullets. His health is ticking down, but it'll do so at a fixed rate. Let's check that it exits out of the phase properly. It should. I don't see any reason why it couldn't, but let's just be sure. Oh, right. I disabled the thing that makes it so that I disabled the thing that makes it so that that works properly. Okay, let's do it again, but this time we won't disable that. We'll just take its health down very suddenly. Yeah, where's its current health? Let's make it. Is that the variable that I'm looking for? Or is that just max health? That is the variable I'm looking for. Okay, we're gonna make it 10, just to put it in range. Ooh, what's going on there? Ooh, what happened there? He was trying to shoot a bunch of bullets, but it wasn't able to. Why did that happen? I'm gonna have to check that out later, but first let's check if the phase exits properly. Yep, and then it's on the harder version of this phase. This is before I made the decision to have these phases have less health, just because that one is just too boring on its own. You can kind of see that he's trying to target you. This really benefit from particle effects and stuff. And we're just gonna focus on making it pretty, but we need every system to be in working order before that. Okay, so yeah, this is the other type of warning. Oh, that's the old sprite. But didn't I save those new things? It's probably because if we were fixing them like at school right there, so I saved them and didn't export them because I wasn't going to need it anymore, right? I wasn't thinking of the idea of making it better later, right? That was for the due date for the class, so I was done with it. I was in that sort of mentality, right? Which is a shame because I lost a bunch of stuff to that, but probably just about the same amount of effort because it was so badly done. Okay, so it went out of the state and it did it properly. That's good, that's good. That's no extra work then to my expense. Okay. So, what was this error now? Is this error only due to having changed the health amount from the inspector rather than it taking damage? Let's see. Oh, this is going to take a while. Tell you what, let's do it like this. Let's have Francisco take 50 damage from each bullet instead. Okay, so it's the 799. It's this one that does the issue. What's the issue then? It's doing pincer shooter, but it's saying that there's no reference. No, not set. Okay, so it's pincer shooter, right? So yeah, it's this one. Pincer shooter it's in X shots. In pincer. Which line of code is it? It's line 52. Line 52 deals with game object, find north. Oh. Right. It's because of those boundaries that I took away before. If it is told to ignore the player, then it is instead finding the object that is north and using its transform position. Oh, wait, hold on. That's just to get a vector that points exactly up. So, in that case, we can just find the vector that points up. That's it. That's all I needed to do. Right? So that shouldn't be an issue. I guess I just didn't know that was a thing you could do. Because I mean, a vector that points up is really easy. It's just 0 on the x, 1 on the y, and 0 on the z. That's all it is. Yeah, there you go. So now these are working. Good thing I noticed that bug, because I noticed it purely by accident. I mean, I would have noticed it eventually anyway, but you know. There you go. Let's check all the patterns while I'm at it. Yep, this one's working. Let's just kill it. Ooh, okay, what happened there? Why are these bullets? These bullets are supposed to be invincible. Why are they being consumed? That's not good. What's going on? These are invincible. So they should be these. These don't have a health. They don't have life. So they shouldn't be reacting. Who is destroying them? Is it Bullet Clean? Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm realizing something. I deleted those boundaries 2 streams ago, but that may have made it so that bullets are no longer being cleaned off of the stage. Like, are bullets just being created and now staying forever? Yeah, they are. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. I'm gonna take a little BRB because I have to go to the restroom, but no, actually, let's keep going. I'm fine. Not okay. So that kind of means that I should probably add those boundaries back in. It's not a huge deal, but I just need a game object that is a boundary that I can. Yeah, but I do have these. Do these work? Yeah, they kind of do. Okay, let's put this here. And just kind of on 0. And then make that thing there. Just this target, you don't need to have it. Do these have the boundary stack? No, well, they should have it. All of them should have it. And that's it. That's gonna make it so that the bullets get cleaned up when they exit the stage. Or it should. That way we're not just keeping a whole bunch of update shit around that we don't need. Yeah, it's not happening anymore. I'm noticing something though. Player's invincible. So that's because I didn't update the live script on the player. Yeah, it doesn't have any damage states. So it should have one, it should be normal. It should say, hey, lose 1 health whenever you take an enemy bullet. Like that. And that should make it so that the player can die. Yep, there you go. You can get very close to the bullets. Okay, so that's working. That's good. Another thing that we kind of want is going to be a yeah. Another thing that we want is to take away this dependency from the enemy bullet clean, friends rain, Francisco, heal bullet, red light, green light. Yeah, we're gonna want to take away this dependency of the. Oh, for fuck's sake, I closed the one that I wanted to use. Of the invincibility script, or rather the drain script, which are the same. We're going to want to take away its dependency to the Francisco animator. The animator should be handled by one script, and it would be nice if that script were the one that toggles all the states, right? So or rather, I wouldn't want it to be that script, but that script should be sending those signals. The animation of Francisco depends on his state as well as a bunch of other things, probably, and so we're going to want to do those. So let's do Francisco. Where is he? Rain. Yeah, friend rain. Here it is. So right now you're working with Animator, but I don't want you to do that. So let's keep it there for now, so that we know which pools I have to send the Animator. But let's put that functionality in a new script that is handling those animations. So we're gonna write a new script that is going to be called brand animations. Here it is. Brand animations. Here it is. So the way that this works is that this has a state, right? That is going to be one of the Francisco states. It's going to have a variable that holds that. So no, actually it's going to have a variable that holds whether it's holding a shield or not, because that's closer to how the animator itself works. So public bool shield, and that was going to start as false, and then it is going to have that changed by the drain script. So the drain script, rather than referencing the animator directly, it's going to reference the animation script. So let's do run animations, yes, anim script. And then all of that stuff that does the animator component is going to instead do similar stuff with the animation script. So in this case, we're taking the animation script and you're setting its shield, which should be lowercase, its shield variable to true, and then it is going to be in charge of signaling to the animator. So yeah, like that. And then this is going to do the same, but set it to false. So the whole point of putting this in a separate script, even though it doesn't actually save us that many lines, is that now we can have one script who is not only dedicated to handling the animations, but also the only one that is dedicated to handling the animations. So now, if I ever have an issue with the animations, I know that I have to come here, right? So yeah, so then we don't want this like at all, really. We don't want this either, and since this is placed directly on the animator, then I don't actually need to get the references from the singleton. We can just get them directly from the inspector. So yeah, but you are going to need to be aware of the animation script. So anim script equals Francisco.instance.anim script. Right, we're gonna have to make the instance of the Francisco script aware of that. But then once that is done, that should be fine. And then, right, we have to make it so that this thing, it's going to need a reference to the animator. So public animator equals anim comp, and then on the update it should be setting the bool of this thing equal to whatever its shield state is. Is it expensive to do this each frame? I have no clue. This is probably fine. This is probably fine. Yeah. And that means that I can get rid of this line and that line, but it does mean that I have to go back into that Francisco script to tell it what that, not that script, this script. Because now we're not going to need to be aware of the animation component, but rather of the script that handles the animations. Which is going to be, yep, just that. Save, 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 go back, let it compile. And there's an error, probably with an equals that I should have been an equals. 21, where? Animations 6, slide 6. Right. Because it's like that. Right, okay, so now just a couple last things. We have to take this animator and make it aware. We need, this doesn't really make a difference. And then we need, no, actually that should be it. Should be all that needs to happen. Okay, hold on. Why are these bullets still being destroyed? Okay, just remember to fix that in a bit. Because those bullets should not be destructible. Those red ones, the red ones are supposed to be immune. Okay, object reference not set to an instance of an object where it's in front drain 24. It is right here because he hasn't found a name script. What? But the name script is part of the instance of Francisco. It's this. And that should be set, right? It is. It's no, it's not. Because it shouldn't be set here. I mean, it should be set here. It should be set here as well. So, I forgot to set that. Yeah. We have to do it here. Okay. Also, while we're at it, why did those bullets start being destroyed? Those should be indestructible. They're immune. They don't have a life script that ticks down to 0, so where are they even getting destroyed? Um, yeah, they're lacking a life script. They should not be able to be destroyed. So the enemy bullet clean somehow. No, it's comparing to it disappears itself when it collides with a boundary or with a player. The player bullets do not have the tag player. They have the tag bullet. When the bullet is destroyed, when the bullet's life reaches 0, it destroys. Oh. It destroys itself and the object it collided with. When an object's life. Yeah, when an object consumes. When an object takes a bullet, it heals or is. Yeah, when an object collides with the object that affects its life, it subtracts or adds the amount of life corresponding, updates the text if it has any, and then destroys the object that collided with. This makes it so that Francisco consumes the bullets, but since the bullets have a health of their own, that means that when they collide at something that takes their life, then they are going to consume that object. But that is easy, because I can make it so that I can make it so that the normal... Yeah, because if I remove this line, that's going to make it so that Francisco stops consuming the bullets. That's going to make it so that the bullets go through him, right? Normal player bullets. However, I can make it so that the player bullets... No, it's not. What? Are they hitting him more than once? No, they're not. They're hitting the normal bullets just fine. But the invincible bullets, are you... No, they're still being consumed. Okay. Did it not compile the script? Yeah, I just didn't do any changes. Okay. Yeah, so that should make it so that the bullets work fine, but now the bullets should start going through Francisco, because Francisco is no longer consuming bullets that take away its health. And he's not. How odd. Are the invisible bullets invincible then? They look to be. They definitely are. Ooh, what? How come though? Because I can see why the bullets would be invincible, right? Because they are no longer being destroyed when the bullet loses all of its health to them. But why is Francisco not making the bullets disappear? Like, where is that happening in the code? Actually, is that happening? Maybe the bullets are just there somewhere. No, it's not happening. The bullets are not there anymore. They're being destroyed. Somewhere they're being destroyed. But where? In the code, right? Where is that happening? Oh. Let's see, the bullets do that, do all that stuff. They receive 1 damage when they hit an enemy bullet tag thing. And Francisco is not an enemy bullet tag thing, is he? No, he's tagged with shootable, which is... He's tagged with shootable. Do the bullets have a special script that makes them be consumed when they hit a shootable thing? Isn't a bullet clean, maybe? Yeah, they get cleaned when they hit a shootable. Yeah, makes sense. I'm not gonna... That just makes sense. It's fine if that happened, and I close Visual Studio. It's updating now. Oh, it didn't take too long. I thought it was going to take like a minute. Oh yeah, that didn't take long. That was not an inconvenience in the slightest. I thought it was gonna be. Okay. So okay. So everything is working now. The animator is handling the animations for the enemy. There's all that stuff sorted. There's the enemy. There's a script that handles all the variables. Well, all the variables for now. So really, there's only one more thing that we need to do in order to get that change that we did last stream to be properly integrated into all the other systems, which is this script. This script is in charge of Francisco auto-healing himself by using the bullets. Basically, it's a thing where it alternates between being in a state where you can damage him and a state where you shouldn't shoot him, because if you do, he'll heal himself. So let's figure out how this works. We have this save time and this heal time. Save is meaning that it's safe to hit. It is on start. It is taking this start time. Well, this is a weird way to do the timers. Yeah, let's fix up those timers. First of all, we're going to need a couple things, a couple references. This is the same thing as the run drain script, where we are going to need those two references to the live script and animation script. So yeah, so let's just get those out of the way. First of all, instead of getting the live script in this way, you're going to get it in this way. This way. Right. Then you are going to so yeah, we don't need this line anymore. Then you're also going to get so we're going to make a new header for those references. References going to be this live script first of all, right? And then secondly, rather than getting a reference to the animator, you're going to get a reference to the animation script that is right here, and we're going to handle everything through that. So instead of this, it's going to be actually, I don't need that line in the slightest. It's completely different, so it's this. So that's what we have. So then we don't need this anymore, or that. And yeah, but this does mean that we are dealing with a couple of shit. So okay, we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. Also, why is this happening on start and on enable? In both scripts I had it happen both times. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, we're gonna need to get this, and we're gonna need to get it to be at heal equals true. Yeah, we're gonna need to be heal equals true. So we're gonna need to do this. Heal equals true, heal equals false. Yeah, we're not gonna need this. And here we do heal equals true and heal equals false. So here what we're doing is we don't want to set the bull directly. We want friend animations to be doing it. So friend animations. So yeah, anim comp point set bull heal to the state of the new bull that we're going to create, that is going to be called heal, that is going to be public because it needs to be public. So public bull heal equals, it starts as false, and then we're gonna do healing false. Yeah, we're gonna do. Okay, so here you, rather than setting the bull like this, you're gonna do it from the animator component, so from the animation script. You're gonna do anim script point heal equals true, and then that script is going to take this variable and shove it into the animator. And then here the same equals true, but here differently equals false. Then here at the end on the disable, it's going to be equaling false. Which means that now this line I don't need, this line I don't need, this line I don't need, and this line I don't need either, which completely removes my dependence on this line, which means that this variable doesn't exist anymore. And for that matter, this one. Okay. Oh boy, that's convoluted. Is this purely straightening spaghetti code? This feels like untangling Christmas lights. So we have that. Next, we want to fix up these timers that are working weirdly. I need 2 other headers to keep things tidy. One for variables and one for parameters. And for the parameters, I'm going to want 2 floats that are the amount of time that it is safe and the amount of time that you should be healing. These are these same 2. And we're going to, for the variables, we're going to have a timer equal, which equals, yeah, a timer, just a float, which is a timer. And so at the start, that timer is going to be set to the amount of time that you should be in healing mode. So timer equals heal time. Forget this. Change time. Yeah, I don't think we need that. Let's just set it aside for now. Then on update, you're going to be reducing this timer by reduce it by the amount that has passed since the last frame, so delta time. Then if timer equals 0, then do a bunch of things. If timer is smaller or equal to 0. If that is the case, then yeah, we have this healing boolean that tells us whether we are in healing mode, yes or no. So this is a variable. We don't really want it to be private. So yeah, first you want to undo healing. So you want healing to switch from true to false and for false to true. The healing should start as true, should it? So then, yeah. Healing should be negated, so healing is equal to the opposite of itself. If it was true, now it's false. It's been switched. Then, if you're healing, right? Then I want you to do a couple of things. Timer plus equals add to timer the amount of time that we've decided you should spend in healing mode, right? So the idea is, I mean, these are the same right now, but then some of them are going to spend longer in healing mode and some of them are going to spend longer in safe mode, right? So that's why the difference is there. And then a name script point heal is equal to true, like this. Otherwise, do this. Okay, so there's an easier way to do that. So rather than doing an if, we can do to timer add is healing true? If it is, then do heal time. Otherwise, do save time. And then a name script to the animation script say that heal is equal to whether or not we're currently in healing state. That way the logic doesn't depend and we're not writing things more than once. And that gets me rid of almost all of this. That gets me rid of this and this, this, and this. But it doesn't get me rid of these. And these now work differently, which is why they were commented. Because now what you have to do is the same as Fran's brain was doing, which is going into the live script and changing the health state. So yeah, it's like this. So go to the live script and check the current active state. And same thing. Are you in healing mode? If you are, I get the feeling that this is not how you write this. Is it like this? Oh, I know that I've written it before. Let's just be sure. Just give me a list of C# syntactic sugar. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. It's completely unrelated. Oh, it's just without the brands? Yeah, it's healing. If you're healing, then do health state points. What was it called? I need to check those enums again. Right there. Health state point. Yeah, if it is healing, then you need to be in reverse so that the bullets make you heal damage rather than take damage. And then if not, then you need to be in normal so the bullets damage you normally. And that should do it. Yeah, that means that I don't have to do any of this shit. However, I do need to make sure that you're back to normal when this happens. So, so the timer doesn't matter because we're not going to be running the timer anymore. But the animation script should be told. Well, it is told, so that's fine. And then here, but there's only one condition right now, which is we are definitely on not healing mode, so you're gonna put it back to normal. And that's it. So the thing that I'm realizing actually is that it's probably not a good idea for Drain and red light, green light to be aware of the animation script when actually these two states are the same as the live state, keeping track of them. So rather than have both of those in one place, I could just have the live state be passing that into the animations, and these two just don't need to think about it. But I think I've been coding long enough, and I did want to play a game today on stream, so let's fix this error and then be done for the day. Yeah. Red light, green light already contains the definition for light script. I probably just wrote it 2 times somewhere. Yeah, it's this. It's just that. And also now we don't need this start time and change time. So yeah, so this doesn't need to exist, and these two don't need to exist anymore, I don't think. Yep, you don't need that, and you don't need that. Yep, these two are no longer needed. Oh my god, look, now it fits on my monitor. It was so long before, and now just trim the fat. Yeah, it compiles. Okay, let's see if it works. We should. Just the issue is this is like the 3rd phase of the encounter that these start being active on, so we're gonna need to just zoom through the others. But it should be easy now that they're taking 50 damage each time, right? I just need to reach something like here you can see right here. Now I'm gonna have to wait through this phase. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, what am I doing? I can just put it at minus 760 health. Yeah, it is in healing mode now. It's normal mode now. It's in healing mode. Takes damage. Or rather, it doesn't. Normal mode. Wait, hold on, actually, that's weird. It's in healing mode. Yeah, it is healing. I know it's taking, yeah, because it's taking like 50 every time. Okay. And here in healing mode, there's something wonky going on there. Okay, I'll tell you what, we're going to be working on that next time. So next time we're going to be fixing that. I think that for now we've made enough progress untangling this Gordian knot of code that it's been done by ChatGPT. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna throw the be right back screen and then we're gonna be back. Today, I want to play as wanted. Since last time I played Dynasty Warriors, so look forward to that, right? Oh, hold on, give me a second. I need to put things here. Save. Yeah.